Hello guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, I want to talk with you about the trigonometric expression. Trigonometric formula, you have a lot of formula about the trigonometric, and I want to revise a little bit before we move to exercise for practicing this topic. The first formula I want to introduce is sine square x plus cos square x equal to 1. This is the first formula. And the second formula will be released by dividing both sides of the first formula by cos square. So when you divide that, you will have this is tan square x plus 1 equal to 1 over cos square x. And about reciprocal trigonometric, you will got something like 1 over sine x equal to equal to the cosec x about 1 over cos. You will got sec x. So that's why 1 over cos square here I can rewrite it like sec square x like this. So the another form of second formula, you got tan square x plus 1 equal to sec square x, something like this. Okay, and the last you got about cotang x. The cotang equal to cos divided by sine. And very easy for remember for tan x equal to sine x divided by cos. Yeah, that's it. That is the first thing I want to introduce before we move to practicing about the trigonometric expression. This is the first one. And the second one, I want to remind you a little bit about the opposite angle. Something like you will have some opposite side like x and negative x. So for this one, what is the relationship between the sine and cos? You should only remember about the cos. You got cos x will be equal to cos of negative cos x. And this one is equal together. But about sine and tan, this is not. You will got sine x and you will got sine of negative x. For sine, this minus sign will move out to in front of sine, something like this. And about tan, we have the same thing like sin, like sine. You got here is tan of negative x like this. So this is a table I want you remember before we practicing about this one. Okay, opposite angle, you got x and minus x. Only cos x equal to cos minus x. But for sine and for tan, they are opposite. Yeah, okay. The red pencil and black pencil, you should remember. And another thing before we practicing exercise, I want to revise you a little bit about the algebraic. Algebra, you got some divide fraction like a divided by b. If you write down here in the horizontal form, you got a divided by b like this. So divide by one number is mean you multiply with reciprocal of that number, like here. So you got a divided by b. Yeah, this is very easy. But how about fraction of fraction? A divided by b over c. You will have this one equal to a times c divided by b. And how about a over b divided by c? You have a divided by b times c. So let me explain in red pencil. Look at this. You got this one a in the numerator and b over c in the denominator. So when you want to change this form become to the horizontal form, you will write out a divided by b over c like this. So divide by b over c is mean you will multiply with c over b like here, and that's why you got a times c over b. But for this one, numerator you got a over b. So a over b first, divide by c in horizontal form, and divide by c, this means you multiply by 1, you multiply by 1 over c like here, and then you got a divided by b times c. Yeah, that's why you got this one and you got this one. This is very important formula about algebraic for apply to trigonometric expression. Okay, and the last one, a square minus b square will be a minus b times a plus b, like this. Yeah, okay, a lot of things you have to remember before we practicing, but I think they are useful a lot. They very useful. Yeah, okay, so move to this one. The question for the task or the question for this one is you express every expression in this video in terms of a sine x and cos x. Yeah, just express everything in terms of sine x and cos x. Okay, how can you do this? The first one you got, the first question, cos times tan, so you can write down like cos x times sine x over cos. So this is, you have cos x in numerator and you also have cos x in denominator. You can simplify it by this form, and then you only have sine x left. Okay, the next one, cos. This is cosec, it means 1 over sine, and they multiply cos x, so you can write down cos x divided by sine x like this. Okay, this is expression in terms of sine and cos, so I can stop out writing here. But if you want to simplify it more, it's also equal to cosine x. Yeah. Question 3, you got sine x and sec is mean 1 over cos. Okay, sorry, 1 over cos. And you will have sine x divided by cos x, like this. Okay, about tan. Okay, this one also equal to tan x. About tan, you got sine x divided by cos x. About cosec, you got here is sine x. This one simplified by this one, and then 1 divided by cos x. Okay, this is the answer for first 4 question. Okay, move to another question. Question 5, tan square minus sine square, sec square x. Okay, so question 5, tan square is means sine square x divided by cos square, if minus 1 over cos square x. Sine square x minus 1 and cos square x in here. Minus sine square minus 1 is negative cos square x, and divide by cos square x, you will got negative 1 in the final answer. So the question here is why sine square x minus 1 equal to minus cos square x. Okay, look at this. You can see here the original formula about the sine square x and cos square x here. So I can remove minus 1 from right hand side to left hand side, and I move cos square x from left hand side to right hand side, and the new formula I will got here is a minus 1 and minus cos square x, so that's why I have this result. Numerator equal to minus cos square x divided by cos square, so minus 1 is my final answer. Yeah, okay. Question 6 is a little bit complicated, so I will transform. I will write down this fraction in horizontal form, like sec x divided by cosec x. Sec it means 1 over cos divide by 1 over sine, and reciprocal times sine x divided by 1, and that's why you will have the final answer is sine x over cos, sine x over cos, like this. Okay, let me erase this one. We finished question 6. About question 7. About question 7, you have here is sine, cos here is okay. Sine u cotangent is mean cos u divided by sine u, and here is cos u. Okay, so this one that's like a fraction sine u over 1. So I want to change this one become to new fraction. With sine u in denominator, I will multiply both numerator and denominator by sine u. So sine u in numerator become to sine square over sine u, like this. And another term you got cos square u divided by sine u, like this. So they have the same denominator, sine u, and you can combine numerator together, sine square u plus cos square u. Okay, here is original formula about cos square and sine square. 1 over sine u. Okay. For this question, cos square u. Okay, 1 plus tan square u is very easy for remember. 1 over cos square u. So simplify this one and simplify this one. You have 1 is my final answer. Okay, for this formula, 1 plus tan square u, you can see here this formula. Okay. Question 9. Sec minus cos over sine. Okay. Sec is mean 1 over cos x minus cos x over 1, like this, and divide by sine x. For this one, you will have 1 minus cos square x divided by cos x and divide by sine x. This is fraction over fraction, something like this form, something like this one. So very easy. If you can apply this formula to this expression, you can write down this one like 1 minus cos square x and divide by cos x times sine x. So what is 1 minus cos square? 1 minus cos square, you got sine square x and denominator cos and sine. After simplify, you have sine over cos is my final answer. Okay, question 10. Unchain for numerator, 1 over sine minus sine. So you got cotangent x divided by 1 minus sine square x divided by sine x. This is fraction over fraction. So you can apply this formula here. A divided by b over c. The same thing. It means this one will be equal to cotangent times sine x, like this, divided by cos square x. So what is cos? What is cotangent x? It is cos divided by sine times sine divided by cos square. Simplify this one and simplify this, and here you will got 1 over cos is my final answer for this one. Question 11. How can you do this? Sine x times sec is mean 1 over cos. 1 over cos and over tan. And sine x times 1 over cos is mean sine x over cos. So what is tan? Tan is sine over cos. So numerator and denominator are equal. That's why you got 1 is my final answer for this question. So quick, right? Yeah, move to next question. Cos qx plus sine square x times cos x. Okay, cos q is mean cos square times cos x plus sine square x times cos x. So apply factorizing in algebra. You can simplify. You can take common factor cos x outside. The inside bracket you got cos square plus sine square x, and cos square plus sine square equal to 1. So the final answer for this question is only cos x. We done. Question 13. 1 plus cos and 1 plus sec. Okay, 1 plus cos x divide 1 plus 1 over cos. 1 over cos like this. So numerator we unchanged. Denominator you got cos x plus 1 and divide by cos x like this. So apply the algebraic divide. You got 1 plus cos times cos in this position and divide by cos x plus 1, and both numerator and denominator have factor of 1 plus cos x. So you can simplify them, and the final answer only have cos x. This question we done. Okay, how about this? Remember about the formula of opposites and angle like this. Okay, this table, when you got cos, it means you have both cos are equal. Cos x will be equal to cos minus x, but about sine and tan they are opposite. Imagine that this minus sign will inside the bracket and move to outside in this position. It become to minus sine x. The same idea for tan of minus x. This side will be moved to outside the bracket, become to minus tan x. So for this question, you can see here you got tan x. About sec is mean 1 over cos minus x. So 1 over cos minus x is mean tan x here times cos minus x here and divided by 1. What is tan? Sine x over cos. So what is cos minus x? Cos minus x will be equal to cos x only, and then they are same. So sine x here. Okay. You know about the formula of tan and tan square plus 1 equal to sec square x. So from this we change position. Tan square x will be equal to sec square x minus 1. So for this question, you can see you can rewrite the numerator become to tan square x and divide by sec square x. You can write down in this form, in the horizontal form for easily image. So sine square x and divide by cos square x times what? Divide 1 over cos square x like this. Yeah, and I think you can by yourself finish this question. Times cos square x divided by 1 and simplify this factor, and the last one only have sine square x like this. Okay. Question 16. Sec cos tan. Sec is mean 1 divided by cos, and minus cos square minus cos x over 1. This is fraction of fraction. Here is 10. And the next one, you will got 1 minus cos square x divided by cos, and then divide by 10. Yeah, I'm sorry, I will write down equal sign here. Okay, so what is the cos? What is the 1 minus cos square? That is sine square. So you will have here is sine square x divided by cos times tan x. Okay, simplify it. What is tan? Sine x over cos. This one simplified by this one. You got sine square in numerator and sine x in denominator. After simplifying, you only have 1 sine x in the last final answer. Okay, question 16, we finish. Question 17, 1 plus cos x. Okay. Rewrite cos x, you have 1 over sine x. And you got cos here, plus about cotangent, you got cos divided by sine. And I can see the common denominator like this. Apply factorizing. For denominator, you can take common factor cos x outside. Inside the bracket, you got 1 plus 1 over sine x. And this bracket and this bracket have the same. So you got simplify it and write down the final answer is 1 over cos x like here. Okay, that's it. This question. Okay, 18 sine x and divide by 1 over sine. Cos divided by 1 over cos. Write out like this and apply fraction over fraction. You have sine square x and plus cos square x in here, and the formula is 1. So quick, right? And a little bit very easy. This question is not easy anymore. This question is so long. This side and this term have different denominator, so I want to change them become to common denominator. I will time this with 1 plus 2, 1 plus sine, and denominator and numerator also be like this. And how about this one? This term I will multiply both numerator and denominator with cos x, and that's why I'm got here is 1 plus sine x and term cos x. Yeah, so after that you have two terms here have the same common denominator, and then I will combine them like this. Plus cos square x. Okay, and the common denominator you write down one time only. Yep, okay. Expand this one. Expand 1 plus sine square. You will got here is 1 2 sine x plus sine square x plus cos square x, and you got cos x times 1 plus sine x. How about sine square and cos square? Sine square plus cos square, you got 1, and you already have 1 here, so they become to 2. 2 plus 2 times sine x, and the denominator you have here. Okay, so take 2 outside, just like common factor. The inside bracket 1 plus sine. So cos times 1 plus sine. They have the same thing in numerator and denominator. Cancel, you got 1 over cos. 2 over cos is my final answer. Okay. Question 19. Question 20. Okay, that's very easy. Tan is tan sine over cos. Cos like this. And cosine is mean 1 over sine. This cos simplify with this one. This sine simplify with this one. So 1 is my final answer. We finish this question so quick. 21. Okay. What is sec square? 1 over cos. Like this. Minus 1. Apply fraction over fraction rule. You got cos square x times 2 plus tan square x minus 1. And then expand, you got 2 cos square plus tan square cos square minus 1. Yep. So what is this? Tan square plus tan square times cos square. It is sine square x minus 1. And again, for this one, I want to remind you sine square x minus 1 equal to minus cos square. And then you got cos square x is my final answer. Okay. Question 22. 1 plus cosine by this. Okay, write down in from a horizontal form. You got 1 plus cos divided by sine and divided by cosine. Divided by cosine is mean divided by 1 over sine, like this. So this is sine plus cos divided by sine. And time reciprocal of sine x over reciprocal of 1 over sine x is mean sine x over 1. This here and here you got sine x plus cos x is my final answer. Yeah, okay. Question 23. Okay, about tan unchanged. About cos, it is equal, but about this one, they are opposite. Tan of minus x will be minus tan x. So tan x minus tan x, you got 0. That's why you got here is cos x. Okay. 24 is my final question. Cos, sec, and tan. For easily image, I will rewrite this one by this form. Horizontal form. About sec is mean 1 over cos. About tan, it is sine over cos. So this is cos. Multiply divide 1 plus sine x divided by cos. Cos x times cos x divided by 1 plus sine. And you will have here equal to cos square divided by 1 plus sine x. This is unfinished. Cos square is mean 1 minus sine square. And 1 minus sine square, you can factorizing one more step. You can remember the algebraic. I already tell you a square minus b square will be a minus b and time with a plus b. So you got 1 minus sine square. It means 1 square is minus sine square. That's like a square minus b square. So factorizing, you got a minus b and a plus b, like this. And here you got 1 minus sine x and 1 plus sine x, 1 plus sine x, like this. Here can simplify by this one. So 1 minus sine x is my final answer by this way. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video, and don't forget subscribe and like my video. Sharing this video to another student can be helpful for them. Thank you so much and see you next time. Bye bye.